Hey everyone, Northern Explorer here. Thanks for checking out my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made the camper tie downs that I used on my four-wheel camper. I know they work because on June 19th, 2017, I rolled my truck. Not only did my camper stay on, but it didn't even budge an inch. Four-wheel campers typically uses turnbuckles to attach their campers to the bed of the truck. A turnbuckle has 3 flaws when used for this purpose. The first flaw, the turnbuckle has no give to allow for frame flex. The second flaw, it's hard to judge how tight the turnbuckle needs to be. A turnbuckle that is too tight can lead to camper anchor points being pulled or ripped right out. The third reason, a turnbuckle can easily loosen up without any warning. In worst case scenario, this can lead to the camper falling off the truck. This exact scenario was just featured in a Truck Camper magazine article. See link below. There are only a few items that are needed for this build. U-bolts, springs, 3/8 inch lock nuts to replace the non-locking nuts that came with the U-bolts, 3/16 by 2 inch flat welding steel, chain, quick links, primer, and paint. The first thing I'm going to need to do is mark off 2 inch sections on the flat welding steel. Then I use my trusty Sawzall to cut it down to size. Repeat that 4 times. After everything is cut to size, I just need to smooth out the sharp edges. The next step I need to do is measure out and drill 4 holes in each metal plate. I highly recommend a carbide drill bit and a drill press. Checking for size. That is perfect. Now I just have to do that 2 more times on here. Those carbide bits go through this like butter. So that's what it looks like with all 4 holes drilled. And everything fits as it should. I might have to file it out a little bit. So it's coming together. I just gotta do that 4 more times. So I'm gonna shut the camera off for that. Otherwise it's gonna take me all night. All right, after 2 hours of drilling and 3 metal shards in my hand, I think I'm ready for the next step. I'm just going to take them over to the grinder and clean off the drill holes of any sharp edges. Okay, so all the rough edges have been ground off. The only thing I have left to do before final assembly is to prime and paint these. So I'll be doing that next. It's too cold outside to do it outdoors where you're supposed to be doing it, so I'm gonna have to put my mask on and hopefully not choke to death in my basement here. Couple coats of paint and it'll be ready for final assembly. Okay, 3 coats of paint later, we are ready for final assembly. So you take the plate that I made with the 4 holes in it, chain link through the U-bolt, through the plate, spring, spring, washer, washer, lock nut, lock nut, more chain, U-bolt, coming from the other direction, lock nut, and lock nut. So that's the final assembly. I'll get you a closer look in a second here. So the key is to get the chain pretty close to exactly the right length, because you can only cinch this down so much. There's only so much room for adjustment. So get the links right where you need them. And this is pretty much what it's going to look like on my camper and truck. So if you can imagine this being the mount in the bed of the truck. This isn't actually what it looks like, but I'm just using that as an example. And then this would be the mount on the bottom of the camper. And then we got a couple of quick links to attach everything, tighten it down. Like I said, you got to get the right number of links in here because there's not much room for play. And then with those springs, it gives you just a little bit of stretch to allow for frame flex. And you could actually mount it either way you wanted. Doesn't really matter what side's up. So essentially just like that. I'll get you a closer look. All right, so here is the finished product. And that is what it's replacing. So these are just representing the camper mount and the bed mount in your truck. Quick link, 2 U-bolts, spring, plate steel, couple of washers, chain, quick link, mounts. That's it. That's it for this one. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bonus points if you know what YouTube channel this shirt comes from. Comment below.